Society looks at an older man who rarely leaves his house and immediately diagnoses him with a tragedy. They look at his quiet weekends and assume he is depressed. They look at his empty driveway and assume he has surrendered to loneliness. But psychology reveals a shocking hidden truth. He is not hiding from the world. He has simply conquered it. We live in an extroverted culture that equates constant motion with happiness. We are told that to be successful, a man must always be outside, mingling, traveling, and proving his vitality to the crowd. When families see a senior man over the age of 60 who prefers the four walls of his home to the noise of the outside world, they often try to fix him. They try to pull him out of his shell. But what they fail to understand is that he is not in a shell. He is in a sanctuary. After decades of navigating the labyrinth of career pressures, societal expectations, and complex relationships, the mature masculine mind undergoes a profound psychological transformation. His desire to stay home is not a symptom of mental decline. It is the ultimate expression of emotional mastery. Today, we are going to deconstruct the psychology of the sovereign homebody. We will dissect the 7 undeniable reasons why senior men love staying at home and why this voluntary solitude is the purest form of freedom. Let us uncover the truth. Point number 1, voluntary solitude is a sign of emotional wholeness, not depression. When a man is young, he often uses the outside world as a distraction. He works 80 hours a week, attends every social gathering, and constantly seeks new experiences because he is terrified of being alone with his own thoughts. He is running from his insecurities, his unhealed traumas, and his own internal voice. But the senior man, who can sit completely alone in a quiet room for hours on end without feeling a single ounce of anxiety, that is a man who has reached the pinnacle of emotional completion. He has done the brutal, silent work of introspection. He has confronted his past. He has looked at his failures and his triumphs, and he has finally forgiven himself for his imperfections. He no longer needs to escape his own mind, because his mind is no longer a battlefield. When society looks at a man sitting quietly in his house, they assume he is depressed because they would be depressed if they were forced to sit with their own unresolved thoughts. They are projecting their own fear of silence onto him. The older man stays home simply because he is finally at peace with the man in the mirror. Point number 2, he is withdrawing from the noise, not from life. There is a severe difference between retreating from existence and retreating from superficiality. Throughout his life, a man is forced to attend thousands of events he does not care about. He attends corporate dinners, mandatory family gatherings with toxic relatives, and social functions built entirely on fake pleasantries. By the time a man reaches 60, his tolerance for the trivial completely evaporates. In psychology, this is known as a shift in socio-emotional selectivity. As men recognize that their time is limited, they refuse to spend their remaining energy on shallow interactions. He is not isolating himself from humanity. He is retiring from the exhausting performance of societal small talk. He realizes that spending an evening answering mundane questions about the weather or listening to other people's manufactured drama is a catastrophic waste of his life force. He stays home because he has discovered that honest silence is infinitely more fulfilling than fake conversation. He protects his environment because he would rather experience the deep, authentic peace of his living room than the exhausting theater of the outside world. Point number 3, absolute independence and liberation from societal roles. From the moment a man enters the workforce, he is stripped of his individuality and assigned a series of utilitarian roles. He is the employee who must produce. He is the provider who must pay the mortgage. He is the fixer who must solve everyone's problems. He is the stoic husband and father who must never show weakness. For 40 years, every time he steps out his front door, he must put on this heavy, suffocating armor to survive in the world. But his home His home is the only place on earth where the armor comes off. When the senior man retires and his children are grown, the societal contracts expire. When he stays inside his house, he does not have to perform. He does not have to prove his strength. He does not have to prove his success, his wealth, or his utility to anyone. He can simply be. He returns to his most authentic primal self. The older man loves staying home because it is the only geographical location where he is allowed to exist as a human being rather than a human doing. He rejects the outside world because the outside world constantly demands that he play a role. Inside his home, he is finally, unapologetically, just himself. Point number 4. The home provides a sacred space for deep reflection and spiritual grounding. As a man enters his later years, the biological drive for external expansion shifts to a profound desire for internal exploration. Carl Jung referred to this as the final stage of individuation. It is the existential phase of life, the hustle of the outside world, the traffic, the consumerism, the endless pursuit of money is designed to keep us distracted from the ultimate questions of existence. The quiet environment of the home allows the senior man to finally pause and meditate on his journey. In this sacred silence, he evaluates his achievements and his failures without the judgment of society. He begins to answer the grand, terrifying questions that younger men run from. Who am I really beneath my titles? What actually mattered in my life? What legacy am I leaving behind? This level of deep spiritual introspection requires an environment completely devoid of distraction. The older man stays home because his house has become a monastery for his mind. He is making peace with the universe, preparing his soul for the final chapters of his journey, and he requires absolute stillness to do so. Point number 5. The renaissance of pure, unadulterated creativity. Society looks at a senior man tinkering in his garage or tending to his garden and dismissively assumes he is just killing time. They view his hobbies as a desperate attempt to stave off boredom. They could not be more wrong. During his working years, a man's creative energy is routinely hijacked by his employer. His mental resources are spent solving problems for other people. But, within the walls of his home, he reclaims his creative sovereignty. Reading, writing, woodworking, painting, or gardening are not just ways to pass the hours. They are dynamic, moving meditations. They are the tools he uses to organize his thoughts and manifest his inner peace into the physical world. He creates not for profit, not for praise, and not for societal validation. He creates purely for the joy of creation itself. His home is his laboratory, his studio, and his canvas. He loves staying home because it is the only place where his imagination is entirely his own. Point number 6. Absolute control and the enforcement of the unbreakable boundaries. When you step out into the world, you surrender control of your environment. You are forced to deal with erratic drivers, rude individuals, unpredictable crowds, and chaotic environments. You are a subject to the whims of society. But a man's home is his sovereign territory. It is the one geographical location on earth where he possesses absolute, dictatorial control over who enters his life and what consumes his energy. The senior man fiercely protects this space. He controls the temperature. He controls the acoustic environment. But most importantly, he controls the energetic environment. If a person brings drama, entitlement, or negativity, they are simply not granted access. He loves staying home because it guarantees that his nervous system remains perfectly regulated. His house is a fortress that protects his most valuable asset, his peace of mind. Point number 7, the mastery of the difference between loneliness and solitude. This is the ultimate misunderstanding of the modern world. Society believes that being physically alone automatically equates to being lonely. But the senior man knows that loneliness has absolutely nothing to do with proximity to others. Loneliness is the painful, desperate feeling of being surrounded by people who do not see, hear, or understand you. It is a state of emotional starvation. But solitude? Solitude is a confident, deliberate choice. It is the joy of sitting peacefully with yourself. The older man stays home because he has mastered his own company. He realizes that an empty room is not a void. It is a sanctuary filled with his own peaceful presence. He has conquered the fear of silence, rendering him completely immune to the desperate need for external distraction. It is time for society and well-meaning families to stop pitying the men who choose to stay home. Do not try to pull him out of his shell. Do not assume he is defeated. He is not hiding from the world. He is building his final, calmest, and most authentic version of himself. After a lifetime of labor, he has finally realized that the greatest happiness does not exist out there in the noise of the world. It exists right here, in the quiet sanctuary of his own home. If you are a man who has discovered the profound joy of staying home, I want to hear your truth. Head down to the comments and tell me, what is your favorite part about the peace of your own sanctuary? Your wisdom will help guide the men who are still exhausted by the noise of the world. If you found value in this deep dive into male psychology, please hit the like button, subscribe to the Sage Academy channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. Thank you for watching. Until next time, guard your sanctuary and enjoy your peace.